Wake up, buyer payer people. It's a beautiful day. Go grab yourself another cup of joe and say hello to Jim and Michelle Rhodes on the Buy Here Pay Here morning show. Take it away, you two.
Hey, happy White Hat Wednesday.
Yeah, hello from Florida. We're excited to make an
It's
announcement.
like there's
today.
always stuff that's happening that's like
Yeah, so
really,
much.
really cool.
Yeah.
So excited about it. First off, on my second cup of coffee, not feeling jittery yet. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So really clear.
And good morning, Bill Elizondo. He's like in the gate at the airport waiting to get on the plane. So
no, I think he's already. He leaves today. That's right. He's heading to Florida, and it's pretty cool because that means that we get to. We're going to be doing a podcast for Tote the Note with him,
right?
And we've already been trying to find a place where we can do smoked old fashions.
Which, by the way, I got to give a quick shout out to Mike Downey. Mike, way to go! Extending the tour,
it's an international
smoked old fashioned tour. Yeah, out of the country. So yeah, you set a whole new bar on that.
That's awesome.
Way to go! But yeah,
Tommy's joined us as well. Hello, Tommy. And then we've got let's start another Facebook user. Just so you guys remember, we can't see unless you've approved for StreamYard to be able to show your name. We can't see who you are on our end. All we see is Facebook user. Good morning, Facebook user. So good morning, Facebook users.
Right.
We're so happy to have you here today. So thanks so much for tuning in. We got a lot of stuff. The first thing we kind of wanted to go over, we mentioned this last Monday. Can we talk about it Monday? We have hired a COO to help us in Octane, and his name's Dave Murray. And we actually have today a press release is going out about that, and so you'll see something too on social media, a little bit more information, so y'all can read a little bit more about Dave and how we're hoping that, or we're really excited about what he's going to be adding to the conversation. We actually invited him to just this morning. We're like, should we see if Dave wants to join us this morning? And so we sent him a thing like a half an hour ago, but he lives in mountain time zone. So it's 7 o'clock in the morning. So he may not have even read us. He may pop in. He may not. I don't know. We'll see.
But I think to help people understand kind of what's going on with us over the recent weeks and months, Michelle and I are always out there working with our clients, asking them to think about creating a vivid vision and getting some clarity about where they want to go and kind of what's on their roadmap, so to speak. And I think what this does for us is it allows us to realize kind of what's in our future, what's on our roadmap, and what we begin to realize is, oh man, there's stuff on our horizon that's way bigger than we are. We need to get some help.
Well, and just a little teaser as well, is that we have something going out on social media later on this week, which is going to be, I'm sorry, we hear honking noise. But it's external noise. It's a fire truck, I think. But we have an infographic that will be going out before the end of the week that explains to everybody out there in listener land, in social media, and anyone that are our friends that maybe don't listen, what it is that we're doing, and because we've gotten super clear about where we're going and what we're doing, and we're trying really hard to practice what we teach.
Right. And I think the other thing that has come out of this exercise is, and this is kind of hard for me to talk about sometimes, because it's sometimes what I hear out there on social media around these subjects, it comes across as a little overdone and maybe disingenuous. But when we go through these exercises, it becomes crystal clear to us what our purpose is, like what our combined purpose. And we've talked about that. I've known, like, before even you and I met, Michelle and I met in 2019. We became married in 2020. She joined me in the company in 2021. Yeah. So anyway, the part is that even before that, there were parts of this that were quite clear to me. It wasn't sure, like couldn't say how it was all going to really come together,
Uh-huh.
but I knew that there was some opportunity in my future to be able to make a difference in this industry.
Just just fun fact. And this is something that so many of our friends they just like really. We met on
Online dating.
online dating.
Yeah.
And
So
so,
people
we're
need
a
to know.
success story.
Yeah. People need to know.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
yeah.
Have the people at Bumble call us so we can tell the story. Yeah.
And yeah, it was
Mhm.
yes.
Right.
We and one of these days I'll talk to y'all about we talk about visioning and vision boards and all of that kind of stuff. There's a story behind that of us meeting and how it was like
Maybe on
really
another podcast.
another podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
or
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to bore people on the morning show. So there's one other thing that we are also going to be doing this week. So there's the infographic. We're also going to be announcing, we also brought onto the team a fractional marketing director as well. So
And
she's the
she
one that's
is a
helping
rock
us.
star.
Oh my gosh. I don't think she sleeps.
Yeah.
Usually we get like, as we're going through revisions of things, it's after midnight,
Yeah.
well after midnight.
So it's
But,
obviously going to help
she's
us,
really,
but it's
really
also going to
awesome.
help a lot of our clients. We got a lot of clients out
'Cause
there needing marketing,
Yes,
branding
and
help,
so
and
she's joining the
super
team
talented.
to help out with that, with our marketing clients and
Right.
and for branding and
Yeah.
and those kind of things. So or for not our marketing clients, but our Octane coaching clients.
Yeah. And
So
sometimes obviously marketing is part of that, helping
yeah.
them boost their sales and get their branding dialed in.
Yeah,
And some of
yeah.
that stuff.
So you'll see something going out before the end of the week about that as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk about something different. We're here to talk about how how did you phrase this in the
Well, I would just say that, we talked about some things that we feel like are really good for the industry. And we've announced this in the past. When we were at NIADA, we announced that we were going forward with the BHPH Nation. Since that time, many of you have visited the simple little landing page, thrown your email in there, so you basically can get
So
notified.
Jim, what is the Buy Here Pay Your Nation or BHPH Nation?
Well, let me back up first, kind of tell
Okay.
how it kind of ties into the White Hat Way
Oh,
piece
okay.
and our purpose. So maybe when you think about the Buy Here Pay Your Nation, you might think about, okay, so what is this about? So is this a way for Jim and Michelle to build something and put money in their pocket? It's not. And so it's about the industry. It's about, we just feel like we're in a position and we're prepared to use our resources to create something that is good for the entire industry. And that is this BHPH Nation. The White Hat Way piece is really about, kind of ties into our purpose. Like we recognize that there's a real need on a couple of levels. There's a need for more kind of ethics-based education, which is what we feel like we can help bring in the White Hat Way. And it's not just us. We're going to invite others to contribute to this education.
Can I just really quick,
Of course.
if you want to learn more about the White Hat Way, get on bhphinstitute.com and there's a tab where it explains what it is we're talking about.
Right.
But
Right. So yeah, that all goes way back. So there's a lot of tie-in for why this matters and to help people understand, what is the motivation here and, what's this all about? So the motivation is to create a legacy solution to kind of build something that we feel like can have an impact
a
long after we're
lasting
gone,
impact.
right?
Yeah.
And to really help, because we know in the Buy Here Pay Here space, dealers have this kind of perception problem that it tends to be that the ugly stories are the ones that make the news, and so
The dealers don't,
Right.
but the general public does. It's
Right.
like usually when you think about, and this is something we were talking about the other day, is that if you were to ask a lot of the general public, what is the slimiest profession you could possibly get into?
Right.
And I would think that most people would say used car salesman.
Yeah.
And that of the slimy of the used car salesman, Buy Here Pay Here salesman. I mean,
Can
it seems like it's the Matilda kind of dad ideal. That's what a lot of the visioning is for what most people that haven't had to go to a Buy Here Pay Here lot or whatever. It's this like, yeah, they're just out to really
So you need to tell the Matilda story again. You assume people are movie
Oh,
watchers
those
like
of you guys who's not seen Matilda? Matilda is this. It was a play, and it's a movie. It's a book. It actually started from a book about a young gal who has like cute powers, and her dad is a used car salesman, and he's like really, really shady. And in the movie that I'm thinking of, it was Danny DeVito.
Okay.
And it was like he was perfect
It was
in
like
that role. Yeah, epitome
of what we think about.
what we
So there's a bit of a tarnished thing there that we hope to help to shine a spotlight on people that are doing it well. We want to provide more education. Michelle and I also feel like there's an opportunity through some of these platforms to reach the many thousands of dealers in the buy here, pay here space that are not plugged into conferences. They're not coming to the conventions. They're not enrolled in their state associations. And so
what is it? They ran the numbers. It's like the people that actually come to conferences and all of that is what, a 10th?
Probably. Well, let's take, for example, we just came from the TIADA conference, which was really well attended, 325 dealers or something like that.
In the state of Texas.
In the state of Texas, I forget what the number is, but many thousands of dealers that they have, registered. Of course, there's always the thing about which ones are buy here, pay here, which ones are independent. But still, we all understand there are many thousands of dealers that are not engaged. And so we want to try to do what we can from our position to help reach more of those folks. And so the BHPH Nation, you asked what is it? Well, I kind of been describing what we envision the nation will be is kind of a one-stop sort of platform where it's kind of white pages meets shopping mall meets public library. I'm sure I'm leaving some stuff out.
Entertainment, whatever.
I suppose, yeah. So yeah, but you've got all this education there. So again, this will not just be Jim and Michelle's education there. We're going to be inviting all the people.
Anyone,
we're going to have, for example, when you think about the podcast listing, all the people that are doing podcasts that are specific or that serve the buy here, pay here space, we're going to have them listed there.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to go in there and find all the resources for those kind of things. All the vendors, you'll have a vendor listing. You'll have, and we have some really good ideas and fun ideas about how we want to do that. But basically you're going to, all the vendors, but I think the key thing that we want to make sure people know here is that we want this thing to be dealer funded. Okay. So that's an important piece.
Why dealer funded?
Well, one of the challenges, and of course, Michelle and I have been very clear about remaining agnostic. We don't take referral rewards. We represent dealers. And so we don't represent the vendors. We're happy to make introductions. We know them, but we don't play favorites in that area. And we don't, and when the nation, you won't have ads, you won't have sponsorship. It'll basically be funded by the members. Okay. So that means, so we don't, it's not going to be funded by ads, and you're not going to have vendors serving, a certain audience.
We'll have the vendors there as like, if you're looking for this is a place that you can go and find the pieces, because people that aren't plugged in, they don't know where to go for the stuff. But how, Jim, hey, Jim, how do we make this vendor owned?
You mean dealer owned?
Or dealer owned? Sorry, not vendor owned. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How do we make this dealer owned?
Well, it's just through the membership. The dealers sign up, and of course we've already started the process. So let's back up. We created the BHPH Institute last year, right? At $29 a month. Get in there and consume as much education.
Well, the $29 a month was for the dealer track, which is like dealer education from nuts to bolts. So it's all of the stuff. If you're trying to get into buy here, pay here, and we've actually heard from dealers that have been in for a while, it's like, oh my gosh, there's some great information in there that I hadn't thought about or whatever. So that was we started that $29 a month, and that dealer track is going to be living in the nation as part of the subscription. So it will be the subscription. For those of you who haven't, because it's what we're charging is $9 a month, but we haven't gotten to like the part about like, this is not about Michelle and Jim. This is about dealers. And how are we, Jim?
she's trying to give the announcement to me. I think
I really am. How are we creating something that is truly for the dealer, by the dealer.
So the way that we have decided to do that is we're going to make the BHPH Nation a nonprofit entity. Okay, so that's the big announcement from us, is that, that we're aware that, Jim and Michelle sitting over here, we're a for-profit, consulting company, right? So people might say, what, that's their real motivation. Well, I hope we just by stating that alone, that we have, helped to overcome some of that. We are not in to building the BHPH Nation to put anything in our pocket. In fact, we're funding, right
We're
now,
funding it right
we're
now out of
using
our
our
own
resources to create it,
yeah.
because we feel like it's that important for the industry.
Yeah.
We want to be able to create that and kind of have dealers, own it by funding it through their membership. And, the other piece that I didn't mention inside, if you want to think about what the experience will be like inside the nation, once dealers get in there, they'll be able to have these curated discussion groups, which I've talked about before.
That's I think that when we looked at our roadmap, that's Buy Here Pay Here Nation 2.0, because we're going 1.0 will be the vendor pages, the education library, but 2.0
it's a multi-stage release, right?
Will be curated.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help people understand the grand vision of what the nation looks like. It's quite simple, but it's it requires choosing a platform and putting all the pieces in there, and then we're going to curate it. We're going to make sure that it stays
so that you can have
pure.
like a dealer group dealer discussion group that it's really only dealers, because we one of the things that we see in some of the Facebook groups is, and they're fantastic, and it's bringing people together, but that you end up having within the group, you've got people that are salespeople, you've got general managers, you've got collection managers, you've got the dealer principal and all of that. And so when we have a conversation about pay plans,
that's
about
an example,
all of these topics that are something you really don't want your general manager to go and say, I heard that whatever it is. And so like there will be curated places for people that are in collections to go.
Sure.
There will be places if other people want to be able to get into the nation and see the things, that there'll be discussion groups for specific roles within your dealership as well.
Yeah, and we've said this before, and we have to realize, it could be a few people listening this time that didn't hear our prior broadcast around this subject, but we want to make sure that everybody knows that everybody's welcome on this platform. We're not doing this as any kind of a threat to anyone. We want to see
it's going to help everybody.
We want to see state association. We want to see the national association, join us in what we're building there and benefit from. If we're all lucky enough to attract, more of those dealers that are out there, that aren't engaged, then we're all going to benefit in that.
Yeah. And I think, one of the underlying goals of doing this too is to get more people involved in their state and national organizations.
Right.
That it's like the state and national organizations that they will have a presence on the nation as well, and things like news, like what has your state organization done for you lately. And so people that maybe aren't tapped into those are going to be able to see. One of the things that we're really a goal of ours is to create something that we are bringing people in through like really great SEO, that we're getting in front of more and more people. And so, one of the ways that it's interesting, we will be talking about the nation on this broadcast every once in a while, like if there's something new or whatever that's happening. And we, right now, all of these broadcasts go on YouTube. And so, one of the things we keep asking people is just subscribe to the channel. You're going to get all the stuff there as soon as it's released. You can watch things there free as well. But it's also by having that in YouTube that we're drawing people in to, that might not have otherwise found something about Buy Here Pay Here and getting them into the loop. And that's, that's kind of one of the things that we're trying to do. It's interesting. When people ask us before this nation, just with the consulting with Octane. And then, we've let people know that one of our big calling card things is that we're is launching new dealers into buy here, pay here. And when we've said that to people, it's like people are still getting in. And it's like, yes, we get requests, or people will do a discovery to learn more about buy here, pay here. And so we're already starting to tap into people that are even thinking about getting into buy here, pay here. I think that the first 10 things on YouTube, it's in the last month has been viewed like
I don't
almost
remember the numbers,
like 400 plus times.
yeah, it's reaching a lot of people. And so what that tells us is that, there's a segment, we go to these conferences and we kind of see the same people, and it's great to see them.
Uh-huh.
It's but it's a lot of the same familiar faces. Michelle, when she got into the industry, she'd walk through the conferences with me and realize how many of the people that are there that I know after 20 plus years of being in this space. We know one another, and that's wonderful. It's great. What it also tells us, though, is there's just so many people out there. If there are approximately 20,000 buy here, pay here dealers in the U.S., then many of them are out there flying by the seat of their pants. And what's worse, some of them are mistreating their customers, and they may not know another path. Like part of what we look forward to doing is introducing, through this education, through this track, is that there is another way, that there's a way to, and so that's really the big underlying purpose for us is my personal motivation has been for a long time to try to create solutions where dealers can connect the dots and create a better experience for their customer.
Yeah.
Because I just see that the buy here, pay here consumer, to use our friend Tommy Brandis use his expression, he calls them survivors. These customers are out there slugging it out. This is a very difficult time in the economy. They've got a tough go. And so to the extent we can help dealers, to help the customers have a better experience, that's a really deep underlying thing for me. Like I just really want to help make sure. And so another thing that we'll be able to do through the nation one day is to create consumer education.
Oh, that's one of the things that we're
Right.
pretty
And so
excited
you can-
about. And this is the 3 to 5 year plan is that we're creating something like that.
Because you can see how that benefits dealers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so like the whole education thing, we listen to, or we pay attention to a couple of Facebook pages that we're obviously live on right now. And sometimes we will see questions come up that it's when we talk to other dealers, it's like you look like a deer in the headlights when you're thinking, oh my gosh, they don't know this. And the question comes up as, I mean, it's like a pure question. What should I do? And then, you get all these answers, and for the most part, they're right in the vein of what you should do for whatever the question is. Well, we're trying to create something that they can go and have a resource, like a library of what should I do in this instance, and they can go in there and they can see something that has been either through the curated groups or through the dealer track or whatever, and find the information that they need. And they can get tapped into, how many dealers have we talked to that have been in business for a year or two or so, and they get into the buy here, pay here institute, the dealer track, and then they'll reach out and they'll go, oh my gosh, there's like so much in there I didn't even think about. And so I hate that I don't want this to come across as like this is a pitch for whatever, but this is more of an announcement of the nation. This is where we're going with this. We want you to join us. We want you to be a part of this. This is something that is going to better dealers and better the persona of what a dealer is, and it's gonna better the experience for, ultimately it will better the experience for the customer, and that's like the big huge thing. So to get involved, you can do like one of three things. You can just continue to listen and wait for us to have the announcements on Facebook, which is great. And, so just be watching, and we're going to be letting you know. You can go to bhphnation.com and the landing page, enter your email address. And then as soon as new things come up that we've built and announcements about where we're at, you'll be able to get an email, and then, we're live, that kind of thing. Or you can go now to the BHPH Institute, bhphinstitute.com, and then sign up for the dealer track.
Mhm.
The dealer track right now it's just $9, and it will be $9 a month, which is going to be the same thing as a subscription for the Institute. So those of you who get into it, or I'm sorry, for the nation, thank you. Those of you who get into it, so you can get in and start like looking at the stuff and learning the things if you want to do that now. So there are 3 ways. Just continue to watch and be looking for things. Get into bhphnation.com and enter your information so we can keep you up to date with what we're doing, or go to the bhphinstitute.com and sign up for the dealer track.
Yep.
And
I think there's another thing they can do. They can throw their comments on these shows when they go out. Throw your comments on their suggestions, and I would just say, folks, right now you can go to the BHPH Nation. You can throw your email in there, and that would be, if you're a dealer, if you're an executive director at a state association, we would just like to be able to communicate with all of you and make you aware of what we're doing, because we believe it's going to be a benefit to everyone in this space. Yeah. And so we want to make sure that everybody is, plugged into what we're doing there, and we look forward to getting that out there. And we're just constantly saying, so if this is the first morning you've listened to us, you've missed us talking about state associations, national associations, join the thing, listen to Luke and Jeff on the podcast.
Wait, no, I wanted to do that. I've been sitting over here just kind of like antsy. I want to do squirrel. Okay, so just to kind of show that we're serious about this, on Friday, I mean, have you guys noticed? I hope you have that. We listen to the Independent Dealers podcast.
Sure.
Great information, and we're constantly like, hey, you guys need to listen to this, or pay attention to this, because some really great information. They're going to be on the show on Friday, this Friday. So both Luke and Jeff will be on the show with us as our guests for our Friday Buy Here Pay Here morning show. So I'm
going to ask them how they started their thing.
Oh yeah.
I've never heard that story.
Well, and I let them know that we were going to kind of let them know the topics that we're going to.
It's a free for all. It's free for all Friday. So Luke
free
and
for
Jeff,
all Friday.
It's you. No holds barred.
So we'll be posting some of that on social media so that hey, this, if you're a listener to the Independent Dealers podcast, this might be kind of fun for you to do. And so it's all ships rise. We there's great information out there, and we just want to make sure that everyone is getting tapped into some of the best education you possibly can.
Get the stuff in front of more dealers.
Absolutely.
So by all means, with YouTube, like and subscribe, like the videos that you find, if you like one of the episodes, please just throw a like on there, subscribe to the channel. That'll keep you updated on the latest stuff coming out, and then share the stuff in your groups and with friends, so that we can get more people plugged in over here. And again, this all can benefit this nonprofit entity that is going to be funded by dealers, and will not be won't have the element of advertisers and sponsors. And
that like Octane Coaching, the other pieces that we have in the Institute will be just another listing in the white pages.
Sure.
So it's going to be just another place people can go to get more information, more education.
Do you believe us now that this is not about Jim and Michelle? Do you believe us yet?
we're out to help customers, dealers, and have some fun.
Right. Sure.
So be watching for this week that we have a press release that's going out today to talk about our new COO, which is Dave Murray. We will have something going out this week as well about our new fractional marketing director, and that we have this really fantastic infographic that's going out this week as well.
Love it.
That's going to show everybody out there in social media land what we're doing. And the backstory as well. So be watching for those things, and also tune in on Friday, the morning show, where we're going to have the hosts of the Independent Dealers podcast, Luke and Jeff, and they'll be joining us, and we're just really excited about that.
Yeah. So thank you so much for tuning in. We pushed it right up against 30
We did.
minutes again.
Yeah.
We seem to always stretch to that. So again, thanks for tuning in. We hope you'll join us on the BHPH Nation.
Have a great rest of your day.